Calcium is something that it's indispensable for our bones, and we live long enough, our bones lose density over the course of our lifetime, hopefully not in a fashion that poses health risks. So we really have to be careful about maintaining adequate intake and levels of calcium in our body. But at the same time, as we age, we tend to have a propensity toward calcification in other tissues we don't want that calcium being deposited in, specifically things like our blood vessels, like our arteries, because that can interfere with the resiliency of our arteries. And as much as many of us are concerned that the elasticity of our skin determines our youthful appearance, of course, and youthful vitality, the elasticity of our arteries is really determinative of whether we're young and how healthy we are. So we want to make sure that calcium stays in our bones and doesn't deposit in our arteries. And that is the principal observable role that vitamin K2 MK7 plays. It has no relationship to vitamin K1 in terms of blood clotting, and that's where vitamin K1 gets its name.
Gotcha.
And a lot of folks, if you're taking some of the more old school, like heparin, coumadin, warfarin, those are the more old school blood thinners. If you're taking those, you have to watch your vitamin K1 intake. Vitamin K2 MK7 plays a different role. Its role isn't relating to blood clotting. Its role relates to the utilization. It supports healthy bone by making sure it stimulates the retention and utilization of calcium in bone, which is fantastic. But then it also, as you said, the traffic cop prevents it from depositing in other tissues, which is incredibly important for heart health by resisting the depositing of calcium into our arterial tissue. So a very, very exciting ingredient. I say it's one of the most important breakthroughs in vitamins in the last decade or so.
But see, here's a good example of what Andrew provides. In addition to the world's finest vitamins and an abbreviated look at our today's special next hour, I didn't know I needed that. You talk about things a lot of times before anybody else, it's on anybody else's radar.
It's now, I've talked about vitamin K2 MK7 for over a decade. It really didn't have even a lot of coverage on the internet back at that time, but now, if you go even to the National Institute of Health National Research Database, you'll find an abundance of research on K2 MK7. If you just do some research on vitamin K2 MK7 in Google, and not even looking at selling the product, but back in the day, we were the only guy selling it. Now, of course, others have adopted it. But again, as Shannon was saying, it just shows that we have we owe our greatest responsibility to you. And that responsibility means that we stay in front of the research. It means that I never bring out a product too soon, but when that product has been completely and perfectly validated, and I could deliver the benefits of the research and science by making a product consistent with it, that's when you get the product. And generally, it's with CoQ10, it was almost 20 years before anyone else. With glucosamine, chondroitin, it was 40 years ago. Marine collagen peptides, probably 15 years ago. Lutein and zeaxanthin, probably 20 years ago. So ingredients that are newfangled ingredients for everyone else, they're ingredients, if you've been watching my shows, that you've gotten the opportunity to enjoy for decades.
Absolutely. And remember, this was a special 24-hour visit. So when Andrew's here, we do special pricing, free shipping, special flex pay. As always, a 30-day return policy. This was a little late-breaking edition, if you will. So 30, 60, 180, and 360. It's great to see this on a special pricing.
And it's such an, all you need to take is one capsule daily. You don't need to take a half a dozen capsules. One capsule daily is all you need to take to get the benefits of vitamin K2 MK7. Unless, of course, your doctor recommends you take two, one capsule should be perfect.
Absolutely. So just like your glucosamine partners with our today's special, vitamin K, K7, and K2 MK7.
And just calcium magnesium intensive care partner perfectly with collagen peptides because collagen peptides are the integrating structure of bone. They're even more predominant than the calcium and magnesium itself. And vitamin K2 MK7 makes sure that calcium stays in your bone and doesn't go where you don't want it to go. So really, they are a trio that works perfectly together.
Absolutely. Just as an aside, we don't have a lot of the vitamin K2 MK7 though.
A few hundred in each size.
A few hundred in each size. So,
and I'll probably mention it tomorrow night, so it will be gone after this weekend. Because tomorrow night I'm doing a little Monday night show with Adam. Yes.
I know. You gonna let Muriel and me feed you after the kitchen show?
Of course.
I know. Okay.
So you're going to be